My father has had this odd hand tool for over 50 years. It's about 6 inches long with a wooden handle and a thin metal head, flat on one end like a hammer. No moving parts and no idea what it's for. Any guesses? What your father found is a bladed ice chipper, a tool commonly used in the late 1800s and early 1900s, before the invention of modern refrigeration. Patented in 1885 by Ethan Rogers, this tool was designed to help break apart large blocks of ice that were harvested from frozen lakes and stored in ice houses. The flat, hammer-like end wasn't for striking. It was where you'd hit the tool with a mallet or hammer. The narrow blade would be positioned against the ice, and a firm strike on the back would chip off manageable pieces. Tools like this were essential in the era when households and businesses relied on natural ice for food preservation. Though simple in design, this ice chipper represents a key part of everyday life before electricity changed how the world stayed cool. What is the tool this woman is holding? It has holes in the body and possibly a hanging hole at the top. There's also a box on the floor that might be connected. Any idea what this could be? The item the woman is holding is a bed warmer, a once common household tool used to heat up cold sheets before bedtime. Traditionally, hot coals were placed inside the metal container. The lid was closed and the warmer was slid between the sheets to gently heat the bed. This helped take the chill out of linens during long winters, especially in drafty homes with little insulation. In this case, the bed warmer might be a more decorative or upscale version, perhaps made of polished metal and intended not just for utility but also for display. As for why she's posing with it, it was common in older photographs for people to be shown holding meaningful or recognizable household objects, especially those tied to their role or status. Judging by her attire and posture, she may have been a lady's maid, someone responsible for assisting with personal grooming, dressing, and travel. Ladies' maids often worked closely with upper-class women, and handling a bed warmer could have been part of her nightly routine in preparing the lady's room for sleep. I found this old wooden and metal tool at a farmhouse. It has a swiveling arm and a spinning drum, and looks like it's over 70 years old, about 3 feet long. Any idea what it was used for? What you found is a butter worker, a traditional tool used after churning to press out the remaining buttermilk from freshly made butter. This step was essential to extend the butter's shelf life and improve its texture. The design of the butter worker is simple but effective. The slanted surface allows liquid to drain through small holes, while the swiveling arm with the roller presses and shapes the butter. The one you discovered closely resembles those used in German-American farmhouses in Wisconsin during the early 1800s. It's built from wood and metal, often handcrafted with basic tools, but engineered with practicality in mind. Over time, more refined versions emerged with smoother rollers and improved drainage, but the basic principle remained unchanged. I found this large wooden item in a rental unit, about 5 feet wide and 30 inches tall. It has no markings, no labels, and no obvious purpose. What you found is a 19th century wooden flax brake, an agricultural tool once used to process flax plants into usable fiber for making linen. Known also as a scutching brake, this large wooden device was designed to break apart the tough, woody stalks of the flax plant and separate them from the soft inner fibers. The process, called retting, was an essential step in traditional linen production. The tool usually featured a hinged blade or set of blades, mounted within a wooden frame. By placing flax stalks across the lower slats and repeatedly pressing down with the upper blades, workers could crack the stalks open and loosen the fiber inside. I dug up this ring while gardening in my backyard. After cleaning it, it doesn't look like a regular ring at all. Any idea what it could be? What you found is a mourning ring, likely from the Georgian or early Victorian period, somewhere between the 1820s and 1840s. These rings were often made of gold and enameled in black, serving as deeply personal tributes to lost loved ones. Many included the initials of the deceased and even contained woven strands of their hair, a common and meaningful practice at the time. Mourning in that era was a highly structured and symbolic process. Wearing such a ring was part of a quiet, enduring expression of grief. Taking the ring off wasn't done lightly. It often marked a turning point in the mourning process, a sign that the wearer was beginning to move forward. Abrupt changes in appearance or dress were frowned upon. Mourning was expected to end slowly and respectfully, just as it had begun. So while this ring may appear small and unassuming, it carries with it the weight of love, loss, and ritual from nearly 2 centuries ago. We found this heavy, palm-sized object while cleaning out our grandmother's apartment. It's not sharp, but it has a rope wrapped around the base, maybe as a handle. No one in the family knows what it is. Any ideas? What you found is a jite, a traditional Japanese weapon used by law enforcement during the Edo period from 1603 to 1868. Unlike swords, the jite was a blunt, single-pronged weapon designed not to kill but to subdue. During this time, it was forbidden to bring a blade into the shogun's palace, even for the guards themselves. As a result, non-bladed weapons like the jite were developed to enforce the law while respecting strict regulations. The jite wasn't just practical, it became a symbol of authority, carried by officials who maintained order in a society with a strict class structure and formal codes of behavior. Though small and unassuming, it could block or catch a sword and was often wrapped with cord at the handle for a secure grip. I bought this strange 8.5-inch tool at an antique store in Maine. Even experts from Antiques Roadshow couldn't identify it. It has a small bowl and odd cleats. Any idea what it is? What you found is a 19th century carpet stretcher, patented in 1860 by Henry Hartshorn of Malden, Massachusetts. This clever tool was used during the installation of wall-to-wall carpets, which were becoming popular at the time. The small cup was designed to hold a supply of tacks, while the curved notch near the front was used to position each tack before hammering it in. As the tool stretched the carpet tight across the floor, the user could quickly reach for a tack and secure it in place. Its design made the process more efficient and helped ensure a smooth, wrinkle-free finish. Though puzzling to modern eyes, this tool once played a key role in Victorian-era home furnishing. We found this strange utensil mixed in with a set of silverware. It has a tip that looks like a corkscrew, but it's too delicate to pull a cork. It feels like it was made for something specific in food service. Anyone know what it's for? What you found is a butter pick, a small, elegant serving tool used to lift decorative butter curls. In traditional table settings, especially from the early to mid-20th century, butter was often served in soft curls or shavings, made by gliding a special butter knife across the surface of a stick or block. The butter pick allowed guests to transfer these delicate curls onto their plates without using the same utensil, helping to keep things both sanitary and refined. Though not often seen on modern tables, these tools were once a standard part of formal dining, where presentation and etiquette played an important role. There are 9 pegs attached to the end of my bed, too many for just shoes. We got it at a yard sale and there are no labels or markings. Any idea what they're for? What you found is likely a sack bed frame, a style that was widely used from the 1600s through the early 20th century. Unlike modern beds with slats or box springs, sack beds used large cloth panels, usually made of canvas or sailcloth stretched between the headboard and footboard. The mattress, often just a large sack filled with hay or straw, would rest on this suspended surface. The 9 pegs at the foot of the bed weren't for shoes, they were used to secure and tension the canvas panel. The absence of similar pegs or holes along the sides supports this theory. These beds were especially popular in colonial America, particularly in regions like Philadelphia, Virginia, and the Carolinas, and were often crafted by former sailors or shipwrights using techniques borrowed from maritime work. In fact, the phrase "hit the sack" is believed to have originated from this very type of bed, when people literally lay down on a stuffed sack to sleep. My boyfriend found this silver-plated, metal-like object buried in his backyard in Massachusetts. The house used to be a carriage house in the early 1900s, and there's nothing on the back. Any idea what this could be? What you found is most likely a decorative hubcap from a carriage wheel dating back to the early 1900s. These hubcaps were small metal covers that fit over the center of a wooden or metal wheel, both to protect the hub and to give the carriage a finished, refined look. Typically made of brass, copper, or silver-plated metal, they helped shield the hub from dirt, moisture, and wear while adding a touch of elegance to the vehicle. This strange object has a rotating section above the handle and 2 coin-like pieces with Chinese characters in the center. The handle is big, wide enough for 3 fists. Any idea what this could be? This object is a kite spindle, a traditional tool used for winding and releasing kite string. The rotating section above the handle allows the flyer to control the line smoothly as the kite rises and moves through the air. The large handle gives the user a firm grip, even when strong winds pull against the string. This particular spindle appears to be a reproduction of the style that was popular from the mid-1800s to early 1900s. The two coin-like pieces with Chinese characters likely serve a decorative purpose, echoing the cultural roots of kite flying, which originated in China over 2,000 years ago. While digging 7 feet beneath a century-old house in Toronto, I found this 5.7-inch clay-like object with no markings. It might be partially glazed. Any idea what it could be? What you found is a soy sauce jug, likely imported from China and dating back to the late Victorian era, around 1880 to 1915. These small ceramic vessels were commonly used to store and transport soy sauce, particularly within Chinese immigrant communities. A nearly identical example was uncovered by archaeologists in downtown San Diego, in an area once home to working-class Chinese immigrants. Now I want to invite you to help identify an unusual object. I found this small wooden item about 3 inches long with a screw in the middle. What do you think this item is? Leave your guesses in the comments and I'll reveal the answer in the next video.